For years, you work hard to face the big moment. The moment arrives, you come out as a winner. Years of commitment and perseverance has paid off. But the next moment brings in a surprise, a crash, a collapse. It's back to square one. How does one reconcile with such realities? How does one pick up the threads and recover from setbacks? What are the internal and external forces supporting this rise? What makes the Incy Wincy Spider climb up the spout again? To explore this subject and more, here is a conversation with Charuta Athalye Naik, once a professional gymnast from Mumbai with many national and international medals in a career spanning over a decade. Today, she is an entrepreneur in the field of space design, having executed several large and complex projects through her boutique design firm. Success and failure have given me many gifts. The can do attitude learnt as a gymnast during childhood days continues to help me navigate life's ups and downs, she says. Welcome, Charuta, to this conversation.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You had a chance to listen to any of our previous podcasts.
Yes, I have been regularly listening to it.
How do you find our podcast and some of the conversations that you have heard, whatever you remember?
Very, very interesting. They are to the point, no nonsense, basically. And it's really nice to hear, a lot of people doing a lot of different interesting work. And many a times, as in, people don't know what are they doing, what are their hobbies, and some people just get lost in the whole thing.
So before we begin, I want to play a small song for you.
Okay.
It's a song that you probably have heard before. It's an old song. Uh,
Okay.
Let me play it for you, and we'll take it from there.
ए भाई जरा देख के चलो आगे ही नहीं पीछे भी दाएं ही नहीं बाएं भी ऊपर ही नहीं नीचे भी ए भाई जरा देख के चलो आगे ही नहीं पीछे भी दाएं ही नहीं बाएं भी ऊपर ही नहीं नीचे भी ए भाई तू जहाँ आया है वो तेरा घर नहीं गली नहीं गाँव नहीं कुछ नहीं बस नहीं रास्ता नहीं दुनिया है और प्यारे दुनिया ये सर्कस है और सर्कस में बड़े को भी छोटे को भी खरे को भी खोटे को भी दुबले को भी मोटे को भी नीचे से ऊपर को ऊपर से नीचे को आना जाना पड़ता है और रिंग मास्टर के घोड़े पर थोड़ा जो भूख है थोड़ा जो पैसा है थोड़ा जो किस्मत है तरह तरह नाच के दिखाना यहाँ पड़ता है बार बार रोना और गाना यहाँ पड़ता है हीरो से जोकर बन जाना पड़ता है ए भाई जरा देख के चलो आगे ही नहीं पीछे भी दाएं ही नहीं बाएं भी ऊपर ही नहीं नीचे भी ए भाई गिरने से डरता है क्यों मरने से डरता है क्यों ठोकर तो जब तक न खाएगा पास किसी गम को न जब तक बुलाएगा, जिंदगी है चीज क्या नहीं जान पाएगा, रोता हुआ आया है रोता चला जाएगा। ए भाई जरा देख के चलो।
So you would have figured this out. This is a song from an old Raj Kapoor movie called Mera Naam Joker,
Yes,
which I
yes.
think came
Very,
up
very well-known song.
when we were growing up as kids.
Yes.
It's a movie that old. What
Very, very appropriate for the overall, my story kind of. I don't know. So they say they buy there dekh ke chalo is dekh ke chalo is what is required in all the generations, I suppose. Especially today's generation, yes. Very important.
this film Mera Naam Joker is set with a circus in the background, where Raj
Yes.
Kapoor plays the protagonist of Raju the Joker, and
Yes.
his life and the life of the circus is shown very, very beautifully. Uh, Sadly, the film didn't do well on the box office, but it was replete with rich meaning and metaphors of life. And sadly,
Yes.
there aren't any circuses happening these days for kids to actually go and watch. Very, very few, if at all. I remember
Very
Rambo Circus used to
few.
be one which was my
Yes,
favorite when
yes.
I was a kid. And as a child, I would look forward to both adventure and entertainment. I mean, these words were alien to me that time,
Yes.
but I can say for sure that the adventure that the circus depicted and the fun and the entertainment that it created live in front of hundreds of audiences in a huge tent was a big attraction.
Mm.
And the adventure for me when I was a child was largely through the acrobatic performances of the gymnasts, uh, even the one on the trampoline, or whether on the high rope walking, or even the jokers who would do some fun activities on bicycles. They themselves were gymnasts too. And you
Yes.
are a proficient gymnast yourself, having uh, you know had the privilege of knowing and practicing the art, science, and pursuing the passion of gymnastics.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's true. It is very easy to, connect gymnastics to something like circus, or many people that time used to say that it is a dombaraचा खेळ, you know, because that um, that खेळ was also like walking on a rope, something like that, with balancing act, and some small girl is doing cartwheels there. That used to be there that time. I don't know it still happens, but people used to relate gymnastics to that because people were not very aware of what kind of sport is this.
But you got an exposure to that very early in life. You were, hardly 4 5 years, I was told.
Yes, it is because of my sisters. Two of my sisters used to go for the general games at Shivaji Park. So I started going there as a just to join as a general games, and then from there my actually journey started. So
And how was it
I was
received
just
at school, at home? And were you yourself aware what you were doing?
at the age of 3 and a half. No, I was not aware. But my coach, Shubhada Atre, she saw my performance, she saw my abilities. When I was playing the general games, I was in the general games also. Do you know they used to teach us basic gymnastics like front roll. Maybe you don't know this. These are the technical terms, but rolling on the floor, or cartwheels. Cartwheels is a very common word nowadays. Everybody knows it. So doing those cartwheels or the handstand or the headstand like Shirshasana, something like that. So she saw that, and she picked me up saying that you are good. you should try, doing the gymnastics. So that time I was like, I was just 3.5 year old. So I was like, I used to enjoy doing it. So I started doing it. So then I slowly, she started taking a lot of, efforts in me. I also gave her the response ki, this is the way it has to be, this is the way it has to be. Then there are technical terms in gymnastics, which the coach should know, and the person who is actually learning is also should be aware of. So slowly, we managed to, get in touch with. And at the age of 5, then she directly put me to competition. So she said, ki, so what? My parents were definitely, they were concerned ki she's just 5 and you're putting her to, play some competition which she doesn't know the meaning of competition. But she said, ki, no, the competition is under 9. So that's the time we realized that people who are the children who are under 9 have already started doing the gymnastics and they are already competing. So the age group from 3 years to 9 years, anybody can perform. So that's how the whole journey started. And then the first competition was an experience for me. Frankly, I was not aware what is to be done, how it is to be done. Yes, there were certain rules of gymnastics, there were certain rules of sets and elements, apparatus, which I was aware of because Subhadri has always continuously been telling me this is how you're supposed to do. You have to supposed to finish the thing in 30 seconds or 60 seconds or whatever. Okay. So that much I knew. Ki this is what I want to do. I have to do in and whatever I have to do, I have to give my best. So the first competition was over and I came first in the whole lot. That coming first, that achievement was also what you call was not understood by me because I was small. That time achievement was never a motto. I just wanted to play. That's it. And so performance, how the others are performing, that was not important for me. It is just go and just perform. So that's how the whole journey started.
Uh,
Then it went on.
So when
Like
did you get to know that this is not just fun on the sidelines, but something which is serious, and you seem to have a liking towards it?
writing uh, was always there. I never thought about, that, okay, I want to do my career in this or I want to do this sports and all. It just went on. It's like a flowing water. I just went into it and I just traveled along the whole thing. But sincerity or whatever seriousness I came to know when I played around 4 to 5 competitions. Then I played actually till under 12 competitions. That's the time when came to know that no, this is something, you should think seriously. You should think about your performance, your marks, and your ranking, and things like that. To be very frank, the kind of performance I was doing or the kind of level I had reached, there were very few people in Maharashtra uh, who used to compete as such with me because there are very few under in my age, that is under 12, like that. So so the sincerity in terms of nay, you have to, you have to play for, you are playing for Mumbai, it's at a district level, or you are playing for Maharashtra. Oh, sorry, you are playing for, yeah, Mumbai. Then it is Maharashtra. So Maharashtra, when you are playing for Maharashtra, there used to be a team selection. So in Mumbai district, there used to be a district level competition where there will be a formation of Mumbai team. Then from there, Mumbai will go and play in state level. So in state level, there used to be team like Mumbai, Nagpur, Pune, Nashik, all these people. So out of these, you have to select the team of Maharashtra, which will play for national games, for the nationals. So at national level, have Maharashtra, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Chandigarh, all these West Bengal, all these teams. So that when I came to know this journey after 10 years, 10, 11 years, that okay, I am in Mumbai team, I want to be in Maharashtra team, I want to be in national team. And after national team, there was the international I came to know when I was in fifth or sixth standard. Okay, international bhi hota hai, and in Indian team goes for the international. So that's where the whole, seriousness came into the picture.
And you did go and take part in an international competition too, isn't it?
Yes, it was in 1989 when actually, there was a, what do you call not a war, but there was actually when the East Germany and West Germany was joining together. There was
Yes.
a wall which they were going to, what do you call,
The Berlin Wall was demolished.
demolish. Yeah, that time. So that's around that time. It was we were planned to go there, as in the Indian government decided to have a friendly meet, in terms of competition in Germany, just to start the conversation. Maybe I don't know because I again that time I was not very mature the way now kids are at fifth standard, sixth standard, kids are very, very mature. That time I was extremely stupid, to be very stupid. I was quite innocent actually. I mean, looking at the kids nowadays, or looking at the teens nowadays, I was very, very, very innocent that time. So I was very happy that okay, I go and in all the Maharashtra, and the entire India ka team, I was the only one from Maharashtra. No, nobody else. There were two people from West Bengal, then Punjab, then there were people from Haryana. I was the only one from Maharashtra. So the Maharashtra government has also, congratulated me. I don't know. I have a lot of paper cuttings and things. I have like a full file of paper cuttings and all. So basically, people appreciated a lot during that time. But it was a very good experience. It was very, very different experience rather.
Anything that is distinctly in your memory about the nationals that you played and won, and even the international one, the championships team in Germany, which you won.
Yes. A base special memory is I was the smallest because this Germany team was not any age group under this or under 14 or something like that. So there were seniors also. I was the smallest one amongst them, and there were 2 months months coaching camp.
Okay.
There was a coaching camp for 2 months before going for the Germany. So it held in Patiala, that is NSNIS Patiala. 2 months I was there. I was literally growing up with these didis, these kind of people who are from different fields. Like some of them are from houses, some of them are from boarding. Two of my didis were from Indian Railways. So it was a mixed culture. So it was important for me to understand them in terms of personality as well as their working skills. As in, what happens is in the team, when you're playing for the team or when you're playing for India, it is not only one person performing. It is a teamwork. It is a teamwork which is important. So for the teamwork, the communication between people amongst the team members is very important. One has to understand what exactly she is trying to say. You do this or do this, do not do this, even though it is an individual performances. Gymnastics is something which you have to perform individually. But the success is always a team. They always see it as a gymnastics team, Maharashtra gymnastics team or whatever, India is a team. So for me, it was a learning experience being in seventh standard, which is I was 13 years, I think, 13, yeah, 13 years, and my DD was around 17, 18. Some of them were 20. The maturity level was, very high, or from my side, it was very, very low. And secondly, the entire culture was Hindi. There was no Marathi. There was no Maharashtrians around me. Even my coach was a Punjabi. This is basically a big memory for me to go through that entire travel. And then again reaching there in Germany also there was a 1 month coaching under a German gymnast coach. So after 1 month coaching, there was a competition. So even there is a lot of difference I felt between the Indian coaching and international coaching in terms of techniques, in terms of how much detailing they give, as in how much detailed attention they give for each and every person. In India, it's not that it is not very concerned for the Indian coach, whoever is what is called coaching Indian team or something. But over there, they could individually judge each and every gymnast and say that okay, this person is good at this person is good at this. What they told me is I was very good in two apparatus, which was floor exercises and vaulting horse. And so they had told us that, okay, you are really good. And they actually made me do a new element on vaulting horse. And I could manage to do it. And that was a first element done by me in India, I suppose. I was small that time, but I remember when I came back from Germany and I did that element and I showed it to the people. They were really surprised. I mean, they were really shocked. Ki, Arey, this could be done by you. I mean, it was within 1 month that German coach made me do that element must be more than 200 times. So look, as in you cannot go wrong in there. So much perfection, and I think the international gymnasts are why they are best today because of maybe one of this reason is एक element है तो एक element that you have to do it at least 1,000 times, then only you can do you can do the perfection. And I think it is true with even if it is a study or it is a gymnastics or it is any game for that, unless you practice you are not going to gain a professionalism in that. So that was the memorizing part of the whole trip.
And did
Yes,
you
and
did you did you win any medals in the two elements that you were chosen for?
yes. I won in floor exercise and vaulting horse. I still have those medals with me. But it was really a achievement actually. Indian team was not within first, second, third though, but we did well actually. Our performance wise, our German coach was pretty happy.
So, if I were to ask you as a for a quick, let's say, a one-line response as to what did this career in gymnastics, both at the local Mumbai level, the state level, Maharashtra, national level, and even the international, um,
Hmm.
what did it give you as a person?
Any sports, be it gymnastics or anything, it gives you a personality, whole personality, the whole point of looking at things differently. As in, common person would look at the thing in one way, but a sports person, especially in terms of stressful situations or in terms of you come across sometimes a situation where you have no solution left. So that's the time I think the sports come into existence because sports will always tell you you can do it, and that can do it always works. So this is the main thing. Even looking at like in many competitions now in basic things like in any of if you go to any of the competition or anywhere else, there is a very dirty thing which happens with everybody, called politics.
Charuta, you would have seen this movie called Chak De India, which
Yes,
was a huge hit in India and I think all over the world. Just about every Indian living anywhere in the world, uh, enjoyed this fabulous movie made on sports, where Shah Rukh
yes,
Khan plays the role of a coach for the girls' hockey team
yes,
and
yes,
gets a bunch of uh, simple, ordinary hockey players and converts them into something very extraordinary. Of course, there is
yes,
drama, which is a part of any film. In addition to the fun and drama that the film depicted about how these girls uh, who are so different than each other and
yes,
come together as one team, as you said a little while ago when we were talking about gymnastics as a team game, and how they go on to win the cup, etc. But then, in addition to all this drama, what the film also showed the dark underbelly of
yes,
a team sport like hockey, or for that matter, any sport, which is
yes.
the politics that gets played. And when I'm saying politics, I'll rephrase the word and say power games that gets played as a part uh, of a sport. And
All,
I wonder
all
if,
sports.
I
Yeah.
mean, I wonder if you have had to go through a similar experience when you were
Yes,
from a
yes, yes. As
budding gymnast to a professional.
yes, yes. It's there at every every level. Whether you are at starting level or whether you are a champion, that particular role of politics has to play everywhere. But what I learned from it is through these political behavior of everybody, you understand. You try and understand people's approach towards you. You study that, or you. It is easier for you to behave accordingly, or it is easier for you to become strong within you. So politics is something which you cannot avoid, which you but you should try and ignore it, and concentrate on your sport, like how Sachin Tendulkar has always said that, okay, my bat will show, something like that. So your performance should speak about itself, rather than you're going and chatting about somebody else, some other gymnast saying something, certain things, some bad things to somebody else. It doesn't really work. It's finally your performance is what is important. That's the whole point, basically.
Yeah, I like what you said. Is you put your head down and do your job, and let
Absolutely.
the noise be around, and you ignore the noise.
And this particular, attitude will help you in your entire life, because politics or jealousy or egos, all these things you will come across every day in your life, whether it is your office, whether it is your sports, or whether it is your home, or whatever.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, whilst fairness and justice is a good expectation to have, but in the world that we live, one has to be pragmatic too and say, okay, fine. It's not a fair world. It's not a just world. But in that, how do I find my space and my anchor?
yes,
But coming back to the song that I played a little while ago of from Mera Naam Joker, I want to read
yes,
out a few lines from that song, uh,
yes,
and then we'll take the conversation forward.
sure.
So here it goes. This is the same song, "Hey Bhai Zara Dekh Ke Chalo," which has been beautifully penned by a noted Hindi poet called Neeraj. And
Yes,
some of the lines go that दुनिया एक सर्कस है और इस सर्कस में बड़े को भी छोटे को भी खरे को भी खोटे को भी मोटे को भी पतले को भी नीचे से ऊपर को ऊपर से नीचे को आना जाना पड़ता है in your own uchal kood post your
very true.
gymnast life, what was the upar ko jana pada, or what is the niche ko jana pada for you, or how,
ऊपर
and
को
how
जाना.
how the can do attitude that you picked up from sports helped you in your नीचे से ऊपर ऊपर से नीचे and again नीचे से ऊपर.
in every sport you cannot be champion all your life.
Correct.
First of all, there has to be failures. Then you are coming up. Then again you may fail. You again come up. So this is upar niche. Upar niche is what is basically your attitude towards your whole game or life. Failure to hona hi hai. That will teach you what are the mistakes you have done, and you do the best next time whenever you perform or whatever. So this is what will teach the sports to you.
So, what did the gymnast Charuta, what circus did she go through after her gymnastics life?
After my gymnastics life, the circus was still on because it is always on. So I did my graduation in economic statistics. While at the college also, I really enjoyed my life. So it's basically a balance between the study and enjoyment. So it's not just the enjoyment. And yes, I will definitely say it is not the only studies, but the sports, like as a sports person, or one should know the limit, where to stop, and where to start from, and how to start. So this is what I think the sports will teach you. That is one of, as in, that has become my behavior though. So all this in college also, I have come across many mm, bad experiences as well. But again, looking at things, how do you look at it is your uh, decides your direction of working, or a direction of going towards your life. So after college, I basically during the same time, during my second year, uh, I came across this diploma, which was very new in India that time, because the entire concept of computer and computer graphics was very new. I'm talking about that era of like 90 91 92, where the computer graphics windows were like very new that time. So I came across this diploma called computer graphics, where they teach you different softwares of design. And design was always my uh, passion. This is the kind of realization I got it when I was in eighth or ninth standard, when it started with the drawing basically. The drawing part, how I used to love, painting. I love colors, yeah, boy. So I could relate this memory to my computer graphics, and I learned, Photoshop, Corel Draw, drawing on, basically drawing on the computer. So that is when it started from. And after my graduation, I did my advertising as well, management, and I joined in the event management company called Wistcraft. There also I come across, the politics. So politics is something, or there also I come across the colleagues who are, you know, behaves a little weird. Some people behave very friendly. Some people will do not talk at all. These kind of. So it's again you have to ignore and concentrate on your work and carry on with the life. So there I found somebody who is uh, what you call of my thought process, who matched my thought process level or my way of looking at things. He was an architect. He was from JJ School of Arts. He was a topper at that time. His name was Mrinmoy Chang. So we came across as friends, in the office. And after say one and a half years, we left the company, and we started our own called Magic Oxide Design Studio, which is the studio of architecture, interior design, graphic design, exhibition designs. And we used to, do a lot of, you actually have to do a lot of hard work, when you're starting anything new, and when you actually don't have a financial support. Because financial support is a very important thing in life. But even if it is not there, you can still do it. As in, that's my experience. So the thing is, if you don't have a financial support, yes, you have to put in a lot of your efforts. You have to work. We used to work like 24 hours, 36 hours at a stretch. Because you have to meet the deadlines, you have to tell the clients, you have to convince the client. That is another thing. So convincing the client, making presentations, basically from the concept to design to drawings to convincing your concept, and then uh, supervising the whole project. Say if it is exhibition design or interior design, you have to we have to do everything. So that's like a wholesome exercise for any design to to come up and to come up practically. So from the paper to the actual.
So
So we used to do it.
any mad project that you guys were a part of, which tested you guys and your team at magic oxide to the limits, but in the end it gave you all immense joy?
Yeah, there's lot of them. Basically we used to take up any work, any work which is interesting. So we were not limiting ourselves to only residents or only corporate offices or only. So we have designed like a small office to gym to spa to residences to villas. So
Any
everywhere is a different experience.
can you do as a
uh
can you do a walkthrough of one of your memorable projects?
it was actually a big event. We used to do it for Mahindra. We used to do their big auto expo hangars of 40,000 square feet areas where you have to showcase the entire Mahindra Group's products as well as their. So it's basically a design which you have to practically do certain things, and you have to merge the technology with it. So it's like a structures and technology together, and then you have to show it to the people, and it's like a showcase for. So that those periods was very crucial, very learning for us. And events usually are for the very limited period of time. So your deadlines are like you have to finish the entire exhibition hangar design, say within 10 days or 15 days. So it has to be around the clock, 24/7. You have to keep working. So basically, it was a stressful for us, but it was a very interesting journey for a magic oxide, which is given a good name in the market. So that was one of the experiences which was stressful, but yes, at the end result was very satisfying.
So in this Niche Se Upar Ko journey of Magic Oxide and yourself, Charuta, at the firm, what I hear from you is it was you and Murmai
Yes,
Chang, your partner, who started this. So at its peak,
predominantly Mumbai. Yes.
yeah, at its peak, what was your team size and how many parallel projects were you running when you were at the peak of Niche Se Upar Ko?
When we were at the peak till the time he was there. We were handling uh 15 around 15 projects of different size and different fields. Like I said sometime back, it was interiors. It was interior design of residence, architectural bungalows, villas. At the same time, we are doing the work for auto expos, the exhibition hangars, and all that. So everything was there as a magic under the roof of Magic Oxide. So we were around a team of around 32 people. When we started with just 2 to 3 people. So it was a good success for us.
And I think for many people who started their ventures or even career, even as an employee in some companies during the pre-COVID days, let's say 2015,
Mm.
16, 17, life was good, rosy, a lot of action, etc., etc. And it was a dream as if it would never end for many. I was a part of that phase in my consulting work too. But then the world was hit with COVID, and
COVID.
that impacted different people in different ways. And I wonder if uh, that had an impact on you and the work that you guys were doing at Magic.
Majorly, yeah, majorly. In 2021, when this COVID second phase hit, and the target was, I think, on the people who are in our age, like between 35 to 45,
Yes,
and that's the time when the vaccination had was there only for the senior citizens, I remember.
correct.
And it hit around our age, and that's the time I lost my partner in the COVID scenario. He was traveling a lot during that time because of the demands of the clients, of course. Many a times, there are certain situations where people are waiting for you on site give a next to get the next actions to roll out. So at such times, you cannot say no to them, saying that COVID hai, I can't travel and all that. So he got in that situation, and it just got worse. And then I lost him within 10 days actually.
My goodness. Must have been a shocker for you guys at Magic Oxide.
It was a big shock. It was a big shock. And then the later on things changed. I had to kind of uh, the whole thing came to an end suddenly, completely full stop. And in order to accept the change as it comes, because it is something not in your hands.
But I think in phases like these, one borrows strength from some other parts of one's life. And I think uh, you did have a support at home. Uh,
Yes,
uh,
definitely.
you
My
know,
husband, hmm,
can you walk us through how did that support structure held you in
oh,
the
it
phase
was,
of in the phase of crisis?
yes, it was around to, I would go back before coming to 2021. It was in 2009 when I got married to a person, as in it was more like a love marriage and love come arranged marriage. He's a CA, and I'm a graphic designer. So, a creative brain and mechanical brain came together. Initially, it's always a task. I think it's always a task for any new couple, for that matter. But it went on really well, and he was completely aware of our company, our structure. My friend who was was my friend first, then becoming a partner or a director or whatever. So he knew our friendship and all that, and he accepted very well. It's very few, I must say, very few husbands, are like this, who accept that a wife can also have a friend who is a boy, or who is a person, or who's a guy. So it was very, so once that acceptance is there, it is very 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 easy to share things with him. So during 2020, when he expired, that time he was also our company CA. He was
Hmm.
handling our accounting part and auditing and all that. So he knew. And even during the corona time, when he was when Rimoy was in hospital, he has run around for the injections. He had run around for many things, a lot, as in otherwise one would think, why should I go and run around just for because he is your partner, or because he's, but his way of looking at things are very different. And I'm really thankful to all these things. So when he expired also, that time he was constantly standing with me, saying that don't worry, we will sort out, don't worry, we will sort out. And to be very frank, there was a lot of liabilities to the company. So he helped me, come out of these all these liabilities. He made me understand, okay, these are the kind of shares, your mutual funds are there. We'll break those off and pay off the liabilities. So all these things happened. It took almost 2 to 3 years to what you call completely settle down things with company. So he was constantly there, and because of him, I could came out of it. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have done, because I was kind of left alone once he just went away. Yeah, matlab,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there is. It's
completely a
very.
blank space.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's difficult to put words to this, and honestly, I can only listen to you and hear you because you have lived that experience of creating a beautiful, beautiful boutique design firm in Mumbai city in an extremely competitive space with a friend and a partner, and worked successfully doing multiple projects with a team size growing up to 30 people whose salaries you guys were paying month on month. And suddenly that person taken away is a huge shocker. But I guess that's why these lines have been written by uh, poets like Neeraj in Mera Naam Joker, where he goes on to say, गिरने से डरता है क्यों, मरने से डरता है क्यों, ठोकर तो जब न खाएगा, पास किसी गम को न जब तक बुलाएगा, जिंदगी है चीज क्या नहीं जान पाएगा. And I guess this
Completely.
happens to all of us. I guess this is a part of our growing up. I mean, maybe events like these are waiting to happen to us, probably because there is
Yes,
a lesson for us to learn from them.
yes,
And moment
definitely. Yes,
moment we
I
learn
was.
those lessons, we move on, and there are newer lessons that again happen. So, you
Yes.
are a young woman with a son who is in his teens, at the Archie's years, if I can say so. uh,
Yes, yes.
you've moved on from the tragic days when you lost your partner. You lived in a huge, bustling complex metropolis like Mumbai, right in Shivaji Park, Dadar, the heart of the city, where so much of action is always happening. The city is
Always
dug up.
happening.
The
Yes.
city is dug up for metro constructions, and there's all kinds of
City is
things that is
always
happening.
under construction.
Yes, and so when you look at
Yes.
Mumbai of today, which is where you have grown up, you were born, you were raised, you have grown up. You are a Dadar Shivaji Park Mumbai girl. You see the Mumbai of today, and you can comprehend the Mumbai that your son Gaurish will go into. Uh,
Yes.
as a woman, as a mother, uh, when you look at the changing socio-cultural reality of yours, uh,
Yes.
what do you see and what does it do to you?
Uh, the world, the culture is changing. The people around you are changing, and so I personally feel is your teachings at your home for to your kids are more important than the socio-cultural change,
Mm-hmm.
because what you as a child, what you teach him or her is what you are going to get the results when they become teen or when they become adult. That's what I feel. In the small letter we call that word as sanskar. Our sanskar are, I feel, is very important, because at the school level they are in a shell, they are in a protective environment. But tomorrow when they will grow up, they will grow up into an adult, or when they will go to the college level or internationally or for the further studies. This is where these are the teachings. This is the kind of culture which they are going to follow throughout with them. So during that time, you come to know that what I do at home is, I keep telling my son that, try to listen to yourself, try to listen to your inner voice, because this is the kind of voice, or this is the kind of what you call as a gut feeling, you know or a presence of mind, is what going to give you the success, or give you the help you to make a right choice in life, whether it is your career, or whether it is just going out for a drive with the friends who are of a bad company probably. So that's the time when they will say ki, okay, no, this is where I want to stop. So that where I want to stop is what comes from individual houses, is what I feel. So more than a socio-economic changes which are happening outside, those children are going to learn anyways. But from that, one has to, he or she should be able to decide what is right for me.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And I
that's
think,
very important, I feel.
I guess that's the only thing that is there in our hands as parents, is to believe that our children are born of us, and there is some bit of our own DNA that is getting passed on consciously or otherwise, and they will do what they feel is right in the context and situations that they are in, and
Hmm.
probably just be available to them as
Exactly.
as parents, as friends, if and when they need
Yes.
us. Always
Yes. Yes.
be around at a touching distance, but yet give them all the privacy and freedom that is required. I guess that's probably what is parenting has become, which I think is a good sign. This has been such a beautiful and a wonderful conversation, Charuta. Thank you so much
Thank you so
to
much.
give us a glimpse into who you are, the life that you have led up until now, your dreams, hopes, aspirations, anxieties, fears, and making and putting things so simple that I'm not so much concerned about what's happening in the external socio-cultural, economic, or political reality of the city or the country that I am in. As long as within the four walls of my home, if I am
Yeah.
able to do what is right, uh,
Mm.
in the various roles that I play, be it a mother or a wife or a daughter or a friend or a sister or a brother or whatever. The simplification of all that is such a beautiful thing. So, thank you so much for this little wisdom which comes from your life that you have lived. Just wanted to ask you as we end this conversation, what has this experience of coming onto a podcast, left you with?
Oh, it was really, really wonderful. You gave an opportunity to actually, speak of whatever I have experienced in the basically my whole journey of, till the today's age. There are very few people who are really interested in, understanding, or who are interested in listening to what other people, what other people's interests are. So I think this podcast has given me the opportunity to share things which are maybe useful for the others to take a learning from, or take something home, take something with them.
Once again, thank you very much.
You-
Been a pleasure talking
Yes,
to you.
thank you so much.
You take care and be safe.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time today, my dear listeners. This is your host, Milind Agnihotri, signing off. Goodbye, take care, and stay safe. This podcast is for general information purposes only and should not be considered as a piece of any professional advice. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of its guest. Creators of this podcast expressly disclaim any and all liability or responsibility for any direct or indirect, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of this podcast. For feedback and suggestions, please write to wingsindia75 at gmail.com. Thank you.